Actor Miguel Cervantes is on top of the world right now, starring as the lead in the nation's hottest musical, Hamilton. However, things were not so bright last year when his baby daughter was diagnosed with epilepsy. Dr. Frida Lewis Hall, the chief medical officer of Pfizer, recently sat down with Miguel and his wife, Kelly.
Adelaide is 15 months old now. What made you think that something was going on with her health?
When she was born, we already knew something was not quite right. The doctors sort of said, oh, you know, she needs to eat a little more. Her suck wasn't as strong as it should have been, so we kind of thought maybe that was the issue. When she was 5 months old, I was picking her up and I looked at her face and I noticed that a side of her face kind of drooped. I went to the pediatrician and they said, well, that sounds like it's a seizure. So we called the neurologist.
We got the diagnosis of infantile spasms, which is a form of childhood epilepsy.
Talk a little bit about the challenges.
My wife and my daughter are in the hospital and we're trying to figure out what's happening. And it was my third audition for Hamilton. And I was really I was very emotional. And one of the major challenges for us is to not have all of the answers. Her condition is sort of under an umbrella of some other cause. So that's our first problem, is that we can't go at this and say, if we get rid of that, then we will solve our problem. We're living in a sort of unknown area as to why this is happening. It's tough. It's a tough way to live. You can feel a little helpless as to what to do next.
What about now? What do you do when Adelaide has a seizure?
You wait and see if these little clusters last for 15 or 20 minutes, and then there's some medication that you can give to calm the seizures down. And it's terrifying because it's your baby. You know, you want to do something. You want to stop it. You want to make it better. It's not sort of the movie version where there's a big shaking episode. Her specific type is more of a small jerks. Her eyes would sometimes roll, her head will fall, her arms will kind of go limp, just very, very quickly.
Are there areas that she's doing better in?
She is making progress. Good job! We get little bursts every now and then. She's definitely getting stronger. She holds her head up a little bit better. We are so close to rolling. Here we go. She started smiling again a couple weeks ago, and we just live for those smiles.
Starring in Hamilton must be a life-changing experience. And having Adelaide and an illness that you all are managing in this way must be life-changing as well.
As Hamilton, I have a voice that I can shed some light on this disease for other families who may be going through it.
I was able to meet the incredible people at the Citizens United for Research in Epilepsy. There are treatments, but there is no cure, and the CURE organization is fighting for that.
What recommendations do you have for families who are in this situation?
Ask the questions. Be stubborn and find out, because you're going to know your child better than anyone else. The second thing is to get your support system around you. Friends, family, that's the best medicine.
You all are quite a team. So again, thank you so much for having us, sharing all of this information and your story.
Of course. Thank you so much for coming.
I want to thank Dr. Frida for sharing their story with us. It's important to note there are many forms of epilepsy. Adelaide has a rare form, and it is severe.
Such a great family, and I was grateful to spend time with them. They are dealing with such a complex medical situation. We really wish them luck.
Nearly 3 million people in the U.S. have epilepsy. It occurs most frequently in children and older adults, and it's a brain disorder that causes recurring seizures. Now, when you have a seizure, nerve cells in the brain send out the wrong signals, or those signals are disrupted. That can cause everything from spasms to loss of consciousness and other highly unusual behaviors.
And in babies and young children, there is a common cause for seizures, and that is a high fever above 100.4 degrees. Now, these are referred to as febrile seizures. They usually last only a few minutes. They may not require treatment, and they usually don't have other health problems. Now, there are a number of other causes of seizures. For example, infection, head injuries, accidental poisonings, medication overdoses, brain tumors, and other conditions that can have an effect on the brain.
And it's important, seizures in young children don't usually signal epilepsy, but should always be followed up with a visit to the pediatrician. You want to provide a detailed medical history and an account that includes the length of that seizure, the child's responses, and if you can, one of the cool things about new technology, videotape what is taking place.
And you know, we are learning more and more about epilepsy, especially in young children. Now, if parents have children with epilepsy, they may want to talk to their doctors about participating in a clinical trial, because by signing up for a clinical trial, you can help researchers learn more about the condition and may help find new potential therapies. Now, for more information on clinical trials, on epilepsy, and on seizures, you can go to gethealthystayhealthy.com.
Well, Dr. Frieda, thank you so much. And certainly we want to thank Miguel and his family for sharing their story.